Hey, we got more magic.
Nikki, we're on stream. We're on stream. Stream cat.
All right, we have Tim, aka Renoir, going against Nicholas. Grow 11. And he's going to be on the play. Starts off with a Temple of Abandon. That's going to help him scry. He's going to put a card on the bottom of his library. No turn 1 Grazer Hellraisers this game. Tim now with a Zorius Guildgate. Fixing his mana early and often. Back over to Nick now. Well, once Tim passes priority, or once Nick takes priority,
Yes, Bean. Yes.
all right, turn 2 Improbable Alliance from Nick. That could mean trouble for Tim, although he does have Talisman of Hierarchy. We have the mana fixing, which is important for Nick. We're going to start with an opt. Going to trigger Improbable Alliance.
Yes.
All right. We have power on the battlefield. We got a Simic Guild Gate. Anything for 1 mana. No Grazing for Nick. Not this game. Renoir, Tim. Land number 4. Priority goes back to Nick. And no. No more plays. But he could be setting up for Battle of Wits next turn. This could be a very quick match indeed. Alright, Wilderness Wreck. Gonna get countered. Oh no! Chemister's Insight. Chemister's Insight. Let's get the cat on the stream. That's what this is really about. There you go, Koo. Alright, cat stream in full force. Wilderness Wreck. Active. Back over to Tim now. At 19. Lane number 5. Are we going to see Battle of Wits? Black. Black. Blue. Colorless. White. Okay, not Battle of Wits. Battle of Wits is double blue. It's dead. Collusion. Time to go find Battle of Wits. Hopefully doesn't crash his game this time. He does it with buyback, discarding 2 lands. Setting himself up for the rest of the match. Nick now has a full runway, completely untapped. Or Tim is completely tapped. 5 lands. He's going to need a lot of damage really quick. A lot of threats really quick. Leaf Drake Roost. He's going to need a way to deal with Battle of Wits, which I assume is coming this next turn. Woo! Bye, Koo. Alright. Fairy swings in. Tim, I believe, just going to show it to him. Hey, can you deal with this? Can you deal with Battle of Wits? It's what I searched for. It's what I tutored for. And Drake and a turn. Does Nick have... Does Brawls? No, I think Brawls is just creatures and artifacts. I'm not sure if he has any ways main deck. No, he doesn't. To deal with this, Tim will get game 1. Alright. Back from the bathroom. Back to the magic. Let's take a look at the boards. What does Nick have? I think he was talking about not having that much enchantment removal. He can Disdainful Stroke. Does Imprison the Moon only hit creatures? Imprisoned in the Moon. Land, creature, or planeswalker. Not an enchantment. So, definitely an uphill battle for Nick. May not have a way to deal with Tim's signature spell. Also realize that this is a rematch of the finals. Nick now. Mulligan's down to 5 in this potentially deciding game 2. Keeps, Forest, Tap, Grazer. And a Guildgate is a Guildgate into play. Over to Tim now. Starts off with a Temple of Deceit. Arboreal Grazer, getting in for 0 damage. Growth Spiral brings just the land for turn into play. Thought Erasure. Not what he wanted to see. Destiny Spinner hits the bin. Thirst for Meaning still in hand. Nick, or Tim, doesn't want to have to deal with creatures on the battlefield. Thirst for Meaning. Draw 3 cards. Discard 2 unless you discard enchantments. What's he going to discard? Urza's Rage and Thirst for Meaning. Really needed that 4th land, perhaps. Land number 3 for Tim. No white. It's very important. No white mana. I'm going to try to upload the video while we wait. Back to the game. Untap. 3 mana up versus Nick. Improbable Alliance. This looks like a counterspell. Whirl in Denial unless you pay 4. He does not have 4. Yikes. Back over to Tim now with the Midnight Clock and has his white mana now. Tim gaining control of this match. Back to the match. Tim, 6 mana available. And it looks like he's just going to pass. And a turn. Thirst for meaning. Is that okay? Yes, it is. Discards opt. Midnight clock. Slowly ticking up. Getting ready to chime. Nick, 2 cards in hand. 4 mana available. Cycle, seclude step. And we're putting a counter on the clock. No, Chemistry's Insight. Okay. Chemistry's Insight. Giving Tim even more insight. Black, blue. Mastermind's Acquisition. Looking for a card. He knows Nick has trouble removing enchantments. Perhaps looking for a signature enchantment to end this matchup. Was already skills gate. Alright. Nick now. Turn 7. 5 mana. 3 cards. I can't help but feel like Disdainful Stroke is one of them. Put an hour counter on the clock. Tick up the clock. In the event that Battle of Wits gets countered, the clock will then perhaps threaten to draw Tim a new hand. 7 mana. Nezal can't be countered. No maximum hand size. Growth Spiral response. Alright, so he's going to cast that before Nezahal enters the battlefields. No, can't be countered. No maximum hand size. When your opponent casts a non-creature spell, draw a card. Discard 3 cards, return them. Exile it, return it to the battlefield tapped at the beginning of the next end step. Okay. Very hard to remove that elder dinosaur. Old dinosaur. Well, Wilderness Wreck. Gonna trigger Nezahal. That allows Nick to untap. But with every spell, Nezahal is drawing more cards. Midnight Clock taken up even further. 9 counters now. 5, 6, 7 available mana. Thawing Glaciers, also an option. Looks like Nezahal is just gonna chip in. Crash. Alright, down to 13. Isn't ready to sacrifice the Grazer quite yet. Thawing Glaciers activates. Tim's getting pretty close to activating that clock. Might want to dump his hand sooner rather than later. Growth Spiral at end of turn triggers Nezahal. Draws a card, plays a land. Back over to Nick. But first, Thawing Glaciers. Very slow. Very slow. Triggers at end step. Hard to remember those triggers. Clock up to 10. But here's the thing. You draw 7 cards, right? You shuffle your hand, graveyard back to library, draw 7 cards. It's not possible with Nezahal. Tim will have more than 7 cards. He'll actually lose cards by the clock. Island for Nick. What is he doing? Going to end step, perhaps? Alright, trigger on the stack. What's he want to do? Just going to let it go. The group chat talking about Bedrock. Great song. 3 mana. Mortify. Going to destroy Wilderness Wreck. Three, 4. Consuming Vapors, and it's on toughness. Okay. Response, stroke. Yes. Nazahal draws another card. Drown in the Lock is the draw, and that could seal Nick's fate. Grazer will die. Nazahal gets in. We're 1 attack away from lethal. And there's the 12th counter. So, sacrifice the clock, right? I didn't actually read this. Oh, you shuffle it. Okay. Ooh, exile it. Exile it. Yes. Shuffle your hand and graveyard to library. Draw some cards. Exile the clock. Cool. All right. Nick, turn 10. Going to Prophetic Bolt Nazahal. Draw a card for Tim. Prophetic Bolt, looking for an answer. Alright, that's gonna be it. No answer found. Tim wins the match 2-0.